And some of those games, timeout. What do you need?
I thought you wanted your Hot Pocket. This is podcasting and parenting is hard.
It is Monday, January 29th, 2018, and you're listening to the Just a Bit Gaming Podcast. I'm your host, Adrian Bertazoid Townsend, and with me today is my wife. Just kidding. My wife, Amy. Hi, Amy.
You have too many wives.
I was wondering how long it would take you to figure it out. Okay, so we got a lot to talk about today.
Yep.
But before we do, you're back.
I am back.
How do you feel to be back?
Yeah. I really enjoyed doing this. I mean, I love listening to it, but yeah, I enjoy being on it too.
Well, we're a week late. We were supposed to put out an episode last week, but I had to make a trip to pick up a couch from my brother, which was cool.
For your wife.
For you, but hey. We got a nice new couch now.
Yeah, it's nice.
New to us. And then Ryan wasn't able to record this week, so we still need to put out a show. So
yay!
Bring on, Amy.
I'm always here.
Okay, so let's just jump straight into this.
Yep.
I wanted to talk about a little bit what I've been playing. Mm-hmm. So the past 3 weeks, I'd say 2 or 3 weeks, I've been playing a lot of Yakuza 0.
Yep.
I picked it up on sale. I picked it up for like $20 at Best Buy. Mm-hmm. And I heard a lot of positive stuff about it last year when it came out. And I've never really jumped into a Yakuza game. Mm-hmm. There was Yakuza 4. I played Yakuza 4. It was a PlayStation Plus game. And I remember you watching me play that one a little bit. I didn't get into it much. I wanted to, and I felt like I could, but for whatever reason, I just kind of stopped playing it. Mm. I felt like I was jumping into a story where I didn't really know who the characters were, and, jumping mid-season into a
You also have game ADD, so...
That too, but I felt like I wanted to... I didn't know if those characters were previously introduced or if I should know them.
That makes sense.
I always feel like I want to go back and start from the beginning. Well... They released Yakuza 0, which takes place before the entire series. Mm. And then they re-released Yakuza, the first Yakuza, and that one was released originally on the PlayStation 2. Mm-hmm. So this is basically a remake. It's a complete overhaul remake. Not 0, but it's Yakuza Kiwami, I think. Kiwami or something like that.
Is that one of the other ones then?
Huh?
Is it like the first one or...
Yakuza Kiwami is a remake of the first Yakuza.
Okay.
All right. I'm confusing myself here too. So I ended up getting both games. Mm-hmm. Kiwami was on sale for really cheap too. So I figured, hey, I can start with 0 and jump straight into the remake of the original Yakuza and just go from there, because they also remade Yakuza 2. Mm-hmm. That's not been released here, but it probably will be. It's
crazy to me that they're remaking all of these games. They must have been like, people must have really liked them, or...
It's popular in Japan, and I think it has kind of a cult following in the US.
Oh, okay.
They've never really taken off, but Yakuza 0 seems to be the game that could potentially make it better here.
The gateway.
Yeah, it's something that I thoroughly am enjoying right now. Mm-hmm. The game is very heavily story driven.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's because I've been watching you play that one. So,
and it starts off with the main character, and I'm drawing a blank on his name. this is set in Japan, so all the characters have Japanese names, and they're hard for me to remember unless I'm playing it at the time. But the main character is beating the crap out of a guy, and that guy, you know, it looks like he killed him. It really did. And then he gets paid for beating the crap out of this guy from another person, and then you find out later that your main character is part of the Yakuza clan, one of the families of the Yakuza. And that person that you beat up actually died, but he didn't die from you beating him. He died because somebody shot him and killed him. Oh. So somebody is setting you up, and now you're being framed for this murder, which leads to a whole series of events that happen with this character. And the storyline is really pretty interesting, and I'm enjoying it. I like all the characters. The animations and the faces are really nice. Like, every character looks truly unique, and so I was playing along with that for a while, and then one of the chapters, all of a sudden, it throws me into the role of a whole new character.
Yeah, I was confused. I thought you had started a different game or something.
No, so I had no idea that you play as multiple characters in this game, and I'm probably spoiling it, but because it's not a huge spoiler, but it did surprise me. So you take control of this other character who I like more than the original character. He owns a nightclub, and he is paying off a debt to the Yakuza.
Yeah. So he's not part of the Yakuza. He
used to be, and he's trying to get back in to the family, but he has to pay off a debt, and, you know, one thing leads to another, and then they're making him do some crazy stuff, but he's really dedicated for whatever reason to get back into this family. And so the things that he does, though, is trying to... one of the missions is to go take a girl from one of the other nightclubs that is a competitor, and he goes there and he makes a deal with this guy to bring the girl over there. And so he's doing a lot of building of his nightclub to generate more income and make his nightclub like the best. And that stuff is really interesting to me. Like, the way he handles his nightclub is like top notch. He puts the customer first always. Yep. And so the very first scene when they introduce him is a really interesting scene. I don't want to spoil, but
I think I saw that one, and I thought that was really interesting. And he's a very clever. He's very clever, and yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Nice guy too. Like,
that's what I was gonna say. He seems like he's a really nice guy. He seems like he's a good boss, but he's, you know.
Yeah. So the story has really drawn me in, and that's what keeps making me come back to this game.
Which is good for me, because it's basically like watching a movie for me.
Yeah.
In Japanese.
In Japanese. That's the other thing. It's entirely in Japanese, so it's all subtitled.
I was surprised, because if I watch a subtitled anime, you're not
I'm interested. Not generally into reading subtitles, but it works in this situation because it's set in Japan, and it really helps you immerse into that world. That being said, there are other elements of the game that kind of take you out of that world, but it seems like it's just this it's a video game creation of these two areas, like in Japan, and they're very goofy. Like, a lot of the stuff,
and it seems very culturally Japan, and that's what I enjoy about it. Like,
culturally, it is, yes, and
how they interact, their foods, like yeah.
A lot of the stuff about it is obviously drawn straight from Japanese culture, but the way the characters act in certain situations and stuff is really goofy. Like, you go sing karaoke, and he's getting all into it.
That is so fun. That is so fun. Every karaoke scene you do.
Yeah, it is fun. You got to push buttons like Paul Rapper the Rapper game. Pushing buttons.
And they're super serious about it. Even though it's goofy, they're very serious. That's great.
Put you into like a music video from the 80s. Yep. It's
Is really it set in the 80s? I was trying to think. Okay.
So the game is basically, you have this city that you can roam around in, and it's not super huge or anything. And there's two different cities, because both characters are in two different cities. So you go around, you can't go into every building. There's a lot of invisible walls. There's alleyways that you can go into, and then there's alleyways that you can't go into.
Right.
So
you just have to know.
Yeah, you just trial and error. That part of the game kind of turns me off a little bit. Like, I want to be able to go wherever I want. And in the world of open world games like we have now, where you can go wherever you want, it's kind of, it seems dated, and it seems like that should have been. I was going to
say, if that was just a sign of the times whenever they made it.
It's, well, no, the Yakuza 0 is a brand new game.
Oh,
it's not a remake of anything. It's brand new. And I think they're just holding close to the way they've always done it. But that's one aspect that I think could have improved a lot. Like, I'm walking downtown, down the strip, and I see different businesses. I can only go into, like, I'm walking down the street, I can go into one, maybe two different businesses down the street, where I'm walking past all of them, and I want to go in there and look around and see all the products on the shelves and everything, and see what people are doing. And I want this city to be more lively than it is.
And I think it's been interesting when you go into it, like, especially if you go into like an arcade. I'm enjoying the adult store.
Oh yeah. There's an adult store. It's like a porno shop.
Yeah. And you, what are they, little cards that you find? It seems like you have to find a card throughout the game.
Yeah, I don't know if that relates to it or not.
Okay.
Maybe it does. It seems like it does, but I don't know for sure.
You find these cards.
You find these little cards.
You watch these videos.
And the cards are pictures of Japanese women.
Right.
They're not seductive or anything.
No, it looks like, it looks like a bikini.
Or maybe they're just wearing like a piece of lingerie, but it's really not seductive. Right. You're just standing there taking a picture, We don't
have to like worry that the kids are going to wake up and walk out.
So I find this video store, and it's an adult video store.
Yep.
And you pay the guy to go watch an adult video.
And you get to see the video.
And you watch the video. And the very first video we watched was a girl in a bikini. Or maybe she was in a bra. I don't remember.
I think it was a bikini, because she was in a bathtub, wasn't she?
Yeah. But she's just sitting there smiling at the camera.
It almost looks like
a photo shoot.
A photo show, or like the beginning of a music video, or...
Yeah, like it was very like tame, I guess.
Right.
It was just funny. But did you see the other one where she was hugging on that balloon?
Yeah, and that was a weird looking balloon too.
The balloon was phallic shaped.
But the very end, when the movie's over, is my favorite part.
Yeah, so you watch this video, and it's a very like tame like music video or something like that. And then at the very end, he's like, and he's like,
you hear him sigh, and then there's a picture of Kleenexes.
There's Kleenexes and lotion on the table. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
Oh gosh.
That's funny. So besides that, you have like the arcade, and you can go in there and play actual classic arcade games, like Sega arcade games, like Hang On. And I bet you, or I think these are games that are in every single Yakuza.
Right.
But Hang On, I think, Outrun, and what is that game? When we were flying around.
Oh, I don't know their names.
Oh, man. I'm drawing a complete blank right now.
I'm useless to you.
Those are the only two games I've seen so far. Space Harrier. Yeah, Space Harrier. And so you played just the normal arcade game, Sega arcade game, and try to get the highest score or whatever, and that's really cool. And then they have the crane game where you...
I like watching you. I get excited to watch you play the crane game. I don't know. My brain, it's almost like my brain thinks we're going to get the little prize.
Well, it's fun to play. You get your little...
The kids get into it too. They're like, yeah, get that one.
You get your little digital toy or whatever.
Yep.
And then they have restaurants where you can go eat, and restaurants refill your health. And they have a bowling alley and just all kinds of different like mini game activities that you can do.
It's really neat. You're not just getting
They have a mahjong parlor.
Really?
So mahjong is not the mahjong that you think it is.
Right. Yeah, I saw. It's like
a card
almost
game.
Like, oh, really?
Yeah, like the way and they had this big long explanation to teach me how to play the game, and I read through it, and I'm like, I still don't understand this. So I thought, well, maybe if I play the game, I'll get it more.
Right, and you're like, no.
I still didn't get it, and I was like, I don't have time to learn how to play it. Okay,
next time I want to look at it. I'll see if I can get it.
If you can study it, figure it out. It seems like it'd be a fun game. Like, what would I compare it to? Like, gosh, I don't know. It's just like a standard like poker game or something, but the rules seem a lot more complicated. Or dominoes or something like that. So anyway, it's not like what you see, like the computer mahjong, where all the tiles are stacked up and you make pairs. That's what I thought it was going to be, because that's what I'm familiar with. No, that's not what it is.
And it's called mahjong then?
Yeah, it's called mahjong. So I guess there's American mahjong, or maybe...
Probably.
Maybe they have...
Americans like to bastardize everything.
The mahjong that you play on there, all the little tiles that you use are the same as what you would use on the... And they explain like what the dragons mean and what all the numbers and everything mean. So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
So beyond that, the game is... Oh, and it's a fighting game too. I'm forgetting like one of the most main aspects of this game. You walk around and random people, Yakuza or gangsters, or,
that's funny.
Just random thugs or whatever will try to jump you.
Yeah.
And you just wail on them and totally destroy them.
Have you ever not defeated them? It just seems like it's easy.
No, it is easy. Yeah. Like the random people that you find are, you can kick.
Do you level up in the game?
Yeah, you do.
Okay.
So when you beat the guys up, you get money, and you use that money to buy yourself upgraded abilities and stuff. And you have different fighting styles. There's 3 different fighting styles that I found for each character, and they're completely different, and they're really cool. Like the first main guy, he has like this rush style where he's really fast, and then he has one where it's more traditional style fighting, and then he has another one where he's like a bear, and he picks up, if you're standing next to a sign or a bike or something, he'll pick it up and just hit people with it.
Yeah.
And it's real slow and powerful hits, I guess.
Right.
Then the other guy has like breakdancing style fighting, and then he has...
I'm sorry, I've missed that one.
I like his. His is pretty cool. He has another one where he uses weapons. And that one's a lot of fun. And then the last one, I can't remember what it was. I don't use it as much. Since I got the weapon one, I've been using the heck out of that. So you upgrade abilities in each one of those fighting styles using money. And like normal things that you buy out in town and stuff are cheap. Like the most expensive stuff you'll buy is your abilities.
Right.
So you get money from beating guys, and then there's but there's a big guy that's really hard to beat, and it puts some kind of terror when you walk around the streets, because if you see that big guy... Oh
yeah, I've seen you. You will literally turn around.
Stop, turn around, run the other way, because I've fought him 3 times, and he just destroys me every time.
And that's always your money, right? Like it shows.
And when he beats you, he takes all of your money. Like so. Yeah, I lost like 10,000 yen, and he took all of it, and which was a lot. Like I could have bought a lot of abilities with that. Right. So from now on, I keep buying abilities, but now all the abilities that I need to buy are like 30,000 yen.
Oh, okay.
So I'm walking around with more money now, and I'm terrified if I run into that guy and he takes it, because I won't be able to get it back.
Right.
I've tried, and I'll try again and see if I can.
You should max it out.
Max out my abilities and then go back and take all my money back. Because that's the thing, is if you can beat him, you can get all your money back.
Yeah.
I just can't beat him yet.
It reminds me a lot of Shenmue.
Yes. Thank you for bringing that up. Yeah. I'm surprised that you said that, because that's
really no. Yeah. It's a period piece. It's set in Japan.
I didn't know how familiar with Shenmue you were.
My mom loved Shenmue. I mean, so much that she would make James, my brother, go and play it.
That's funny.
She was really into it, and I think there's at least 2.
That sounds like my parents. They would make me play Resident Evil.
She went and made sure that he got number 2 because she wanted to see the rest of it.
Wow, that's funny.
Yeah.
Did the voice acting didn't bother her?
No, apparently not. I mean, not if she wanted him to play it, and then, she'd sit there on the couch and watch him play it. It was funny.
I see. That's what he would say.
I don't even remember.
I see.
They do that.
I see. But yeah, the game is very similar to Shenmue. It seems like, I guess, I don't know if this is the case. I think I've heard this before, but it seems like this is kind of like a spiritual successor to that series.
Okay.
Because
I can see that. I mean,
none of the characters are the same or anything like that. The setting is similar. The way you just walk around town and interact with the environment in random different ways is very similar.
Yeah. When did Shenmue come out? Do you know? I don't want to put you on the spot.
No, like 2000? 99 or 2000? Like,
really?
Yeah, it was.
Seems like it was earlier than that, because...
No, because the Dreamcast came out in 99.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure it came out in 2000.
Okay.
So, yeah, Yakuza 0 is... The best way to describe it is a fighting game crossed with a Japanese RPG, crossed with Shenmue.
Crossed with a Japanese, like, soap opera story.
Yeah.
It's very
Well, I mean, that's why I said JRPG. That's how most JRPGs are. They're just like a soap opera. Very heavily story-driven. Mm-hmm. Be prepared, if you're going to play this game, be prepared to sit through a lot of dialogue. So
if you are a gamer wife or just a gamer partner, that might be fun. Because it's like watching a movie with you.
Yeah. For me, it's like watching a movie or reading a book that's interactive.
Right.
And I'm enjoying that. And the fighting aspect of it is a lot of fun. I bring out
my knitting.
But if you're the type of person who needs to have action all the time,
right,
this may not be the game for you.
No, it definitely wouldn't be.
I would say that I've spent more time watching cutscenes and dialogue than I have actually playing the game.
But it holds itself. It's not like it's boring though. Like there hasn't been a time, that I felt like it was boring. I mean, maybe for you.
It's never been boring to me. That's what I'm saying. Like the storyline is engaging enough that it keeps me wanting to watch it. Yeah. But I'm just forewarning you, if you're not into a passive style of game like that. It's so weird because I say it's passive, but it's got the fighting game elements too that are very active and entertaining and fun. And all the mini games that are within this game are a lot of fun.
There's just so much with that entire game.
Yeah. And I think you could skip, if you're not really into the story, I'm pretty sure you can just skip the dialogue and then keep going.
Right.
But regardless, if you've been on the fence with the Yakuza series at all, I definitely say recommend giving it a try.
Yeah.
Excuse me. It's been a pleasant surprise for me, and I'm going to see this one through to the end, and then I'm going to start on Kiwami, and I'm really really enjoying it. So beyond that, I am playing, well, I played Dragonball FighterZ Beta. Mm-hmm. And now, as of the recording, the game just came out last Friday.
Oh, did it? Okay.
Yeah, but I
did not watch you play that.
I didn't buy the Dragon Ball Z because I was already buying Monster Hunter. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna finish Monster Hunter before I get into Dragon Ball Z.
Right.
But let me just say that game is amazing. Like, that is the fighting game that I think Dragon Ball Z fans have been waiting for. Yeah. The art style is amazing. It is just like watching the TV show. It's fast-paced, very bright and colorful, and explosions, and you're hitting guys across the map, and then it's just visually, it's like eye candy for me.
I was gonna say, I didn't get to watch you play it, but you did Twitch it for me just so that I could see the gameplay. And there's so much going on. Like for me, it's like overwhelming. It's just like, I don't know whose character is who, and like it
could be that way. I mean, it's very fast paced, and
to me, I would just be seamless. Pushing a button. Like it wouldn't.
It's after I got through with the beta, I was like, I want to get this game, and I want to learn the combos, and I want to learn the moves, and I want to get good at it. Like I love fighting games, but I've never put in the time and effort to learn how to actually play them without.
A fighting game is just when you went to the arcade and you just hit that button as fast as you could. Like that is a fighting game to me.
There's a strategy to it, and if you don't do it right,
that is so funny to me that there's strategy.
Like, go online and try button mashing against somebody. You won't win.
That's how I do it every time.
You'll get destroyed.
I don't win. You're right.
So it's very, very cool, and as a fan of the Dragon Ball Z series, it's really nice to see all these characters and fight as them, just like I was playing the show. It's a 2D fighter, so the environments and everything still look a lot like the show. There's not a whole lot more I can say about it other than if you're a Dragon Ball Z fan, you absolutely should own this game.
Right.
If you're a fighting game fan, give it a shot, see what you think. I think you might like it. I would like to see this one become a competitive style game. I would watch matches of people playing this. It's I just love looking at it, you know? That's part of the reason why I love the Dragon Ball Z series is I love the flashiness.
What is
and the colors
what is that like artist's name?
Oh, Akira Toriyama.
Okay, Akira Toriyama. I
He
knew
does a
you
lot
knew
of
that.
gaming.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I know. Yeah, everybody knows him. He's got a unique style,
Right?
with his art, and
He does
I
the
love his
dragon
style.
one, Blue Dragon.
Yeah, he did Blue Dragon, Chrono Trigger.
I'm proud I knew that.
That is impressive. Ni no Kuni. No.
Yeah, no, that was Hayao Miyazaki.
That's Hayao Miyazaki. You're right.
And that one, you never finished that game. Like,
No, I need to finish it. The sequel's coming out in a few months.
it's so. I would play it. Like, I should just start it over.
I'll tell you why I stopped playing that game. It's because of the combat. The combat sucks. I could not get into it. I got a good ways into that game.
If you were a
before I was
person
like, I'm done.
who doesn't play JRPGs, could it be something that I could get into? Like, if I've never played it, don't know anything about combat.
I mean, if you can learn the combat system and follow through with it, it gets hard. Like, the reason I stopped playing because there was a boss that I was fighting, and I'm still stuck on that boss. I fought him several times, and I finally just said, screw it, I'm done. I can't do it anymore. I can't even I remember he had like tentacles or something, and he'd shoot bubbles out or something. If you remember, if anybody who played that game can remember. That's where I'm stuck at, and I still remember that. I just never could really master the combat system.
Yeah.
And it didn't make a lot of sense to me. The storyline and everything was good. The art style was great. Not to go off on that tangent, bring things back. Yeah, there's not a whole lot more to say about Dragon Ball Z. I am going to get it and play through it and talk about it more extensively then. I'm just basically talking about what I played in the beta, and I really enjoyed it. Also, I did get Monster Hunter World. I've been playing that with a friend of mine, and I'm going to play it with two friends of mine tonight after we get done recording. And I am thoroughly enjoying that game. It is awesome for co-op.
I haven't watched it yet at all.
Well, you're gonna watch it tonight.
I am gonna watch it tonight.
The co-op in that game is
Co-op.
It's awesome. I'm co-op. There's a monster that is big and daunting, and I don't know if I could do it. But then you get friends in there, and it's like, I got my bow. I like ranged combat. Billy had his axe, and we were just welling on this thing and having a good time. And it shows, like, it gets more aggressive as it starts taking more damage, and then it starts slowing down as it starts getting weakened, and then it'll try to run away. And it's so, like, it's so just engrossing.
Yeah.
Like, if the combat is fun, and it's customizable, you can upgrade your armor and your weapons, and there's so much customizing to do, and it just
was the game definitely designed for co-op play.
Yeah. It's a series that's been around for a long time. I think it started on the PSP, I think.
Well, I don't know how Katie knows about it, but apparently she really likes.
She has a Monster Hunter game, not the same kind. She has like a Pokemon.
I was trying to figure it out. I didn't know.
So this series has been around, and it's a series that I've always wanted to get into, and I've tried twice to get into it, and there's certain things that turn me off about it, like the controls are just awkward and they don't really work.
Yeah.
The graphics when you're playing on something like a 3DS is one way I played it. There's so much going on the screen, it's hard to follow and see your character and see what's going on. I also played one on the Wii U. And that one was fun, and I did start getting into that one. This is Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate, I think. But there were, besides the controls being kind of weird, there's a lot of gathering quests. So I would have to go gather a bunch of stuff and then come back, and then I need to upgrade my weapons. So I got to go gather a bunch more stuff. So I'm doing all these gather quests when I really want to be out there hunting monsters. On top of that, I didn't play online, so I didn't have anybody to help me out. So it just, it felt empty. It felt like it needed to have that. Like the co-op is very big.
Yeah.
So with this new one, they fix everything. They streamline it. They show you where you need to go. Gathering stuff is super fast, and you can do it while you're running to your destination to fight the next monster. The co-op is like, I can send up a SOS flare, and people can join me, either random people or people that I know, friends.
See, I like it when games do that. That makes it interesting.
It's very inclusive and easy and fun, and It's amazing so far. And I don't want to talk too much about it right now because I barely played it.
Okay.
So I'm going to save that for a future episode. But my first initial impressions of that game are through the roof. I'm loving it. I'm definitely going to invest some time into that game and have fun with it. Besides that, there's not been much else I've been playing. Just those. I can't think of anything. We tried to see if Thieves.
I want to try that. My brother has that, and I don't know. I think it'd be fun to co-op play with him. So
Sea of Thieves, the beta. I think today's the last day for it. So
so
you have to wait till the game comes out. My initial impressions of the game are, I like the art style. It's got a kind of cartoony 3D look that's really kind of cool. I like that you have to work together as a team to man your ship. Like, everybody takes a different role.
Right.
I like that you go to different islands and stuff and go try to find your treasure. What I don't like is the world seems empty. Now, I know that you're on the sea, and I know that you're on a ship and you're just sailing from one island to another. I've never encountered another ship where we had sea battles or anything, although I'm sure those would be fun.
Are you supposed to be able to do that?
Yeah, I think so. But I went to an island to try to find this treasure, and I had a musket, little pistol, sniper rifle, shovel, because the pirate's got to have a shovel.
Right.
And your sword, and just stuff like that.
You're very animated with it. So you're like, shovel, sword.
The game it left me wanting more.
Right.
Now, granted, I only put in like 2 sessions of the beta, so I didn't fully experience it, but it had a lot of promise.
Mm-hmm. Would it be something I would like? Knowing that I'm very
I don't know. There's not enough to do. I mean, if you want to go in there and have an interactive chat room, sure.
A random.
But I mean, like, when I went to I went to 2 islands and there were skeletons there I had to fight. But I mean, like, as far as seeing things and finding like cool treasures, it wasn't that exciting to me.
Right.
I wanted to see.
Would it have
more.
gotten repetitive too? Like,
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. And then you went to another island and you talked to people. There's a pub and there's a quest giver, and then you can buy items and stuff like that. And it just seems like this game really has a lot of potential if they can flesh it out more.
Right.
That's all I'm gonna say about that. It's still in beta form. When the final game comes out,
when
maybe
is
I'll give it
come out?
March, I believe.
Okay.
Which leads me to another thing. Xbox or Microsoft announced the Game Pass, the $10 a month Game Pass.
Yeah.
This has been going on for a while. You subscribe to it. It's like $10 a month, and you get access to like 100 some odd games.
Right.
From the Xbox 360 library and Xbox One library, and you can just download those and play them. You know, it's like a subscription-based service.
Right.
It's pretty cool. I've always considered doing it, and I've done the trial, but I've already either played most of the games that are on there, or I own most of the games that are on there. So, or the ones that I care about anyway.
Right.
So, it hasn't been something that's really for me, but I could see it being for a kid or somebody, parent who subscribes
somebody who
to
doesn't have an extensive.
Yeah, I think it's aimed for people who don't want to buy a lot of games and they just want to jump in and play some random game.
Which is really smart if you think about it, because $10 a month might not be a lot, but people who aren't buying games, it's an.
But the games that they put on there are old games and they're cheap, so it doesn't really hold that
like
value to me.
Walmart been cheap.
Yeah, like you can go buy a game for less than $10 pre-owned at GameStop.
Right.
So, Microsoft announced that they are going to start making first-party Microsoft titles published by Microsoft available on release day on the Xbox Game Pass. Does that make sense?
Nope. Explain that to me.
So, I saw the confusion in your eyes, so that's why I need you here, because I'm not sure if I'm explaining this right. So the people who subscribe to the Game Pass, when Sea of Thieves is a Microsoft published game, comes out in March, it will be part of the Games Pass.
Okay.
So you don't have to buy the game if you already subscribe to that. So if you're subscribed to that, Download it and play it.
And it's only for games that are Microsoft. So it's not like some of the other big names that Microsoft got.
But I mean, one of the big reasons for having Xbox, though, for me, are playing the first-party titles that aren't available on the PlayStation. PlayStation is my go-to system, but the Xbox, I still love.
That's funny to me because for the kids and I, the Xbox.
So the kids and Amy use the Xbox all the time, and I use the PlayStation. Yeah. I just like the exclusive titles on the PlayStation more than the exclusive ones.
That makes sense.
But the ones
Uncharted,
that I do like
that.
Yeah, Uncharted and, a lot of Japanese games and stuff like that I really like are usually exclusive to the PlayStation.
Yeah.
But as far as exclusive games on the Xbox, they do have quite a few that I love, and so for that fact, I do enjoy it. Like the Forza games. I really like playing the Forza games. So Forza game, if that comes out, day one, you have access to it if you're subscribed.
Okay.
Like Gears of War, or the new Crackdown that's coming out. State of Decay 2 is one that they announced. Any future Halos, anything that is...
That's where you get me.
Anything that is a first-party Microsoft game, if you're subscribed to that, that's a good deal. I mean, that's really enticing. That opens up the gates for people like me who, wouldn't consider getting that Games Pass anyway. But if I'm subscribed to it and I have access to all these old games, plus I get access to the new games as they come out, I might consider it, And it would be definitely...
Are they going to keep the price the same? Because it would almost feel
As far as I know, yes.
Yeah.
It would be very... it's a good deal for not only... Or it's a better deal for those kids or, those people who don't want to go out and buy all those games but still want to play them day one.
So parents,
I think it's a good move. I think it's a great move.
Yeah.
And so this happened a couple weeks ago, but I haven't been able to record and talk about it since then. So I wanted to hit on it now. The Nintendo Direct happened a week or two ago, and they made a bunch of game announcements for the Switch. And I noticed a trend, and there's a few games that I'm really excited about, but for the most part, they are re-releasing games that were released on the Wii U. And that makes sense to me.
Really?
The Wii U didn't sell that great, and there's a lot of people who have a Switch who didn't have a Wii U.
Right.
So releasing some of those games again on the Switch, I think is a good idea. And it's a good way to pad the release dates of their games that they're developing for the Switch. Because they had a great year last year with new game releases. I can only imagine that they have some plans for this year, but it's going to take some time to develop those.
Right.
In the meantime, they need to keep the games flowing.
Right.
To keep fans happy or, purchasers happy. And a lot of these people who didn't get to experience the Wii U games or the Wii U library now get to experience these games. So a few of them that they announced is the Hyrule Warriors game. That's a hard word to say. Hyrule Warriors.
Hyrule Warriors. Ooh, yeah.
Hyrule Warriors.
Hyrule Warriors.
So that's a game I have on the Wii U, and it's a lot of fun. It's like a Dynasty Warriors type of game where...
What's Dynasty Warriors?
Where your character goes in and just annihilates hordes of enemies, and it's just basic hack and slash, and it's just fun.
Set in Hyrule.
Yeah, there's... as far as I can tell, there's no real strategy to it. It's just go in there, hit the button a bunch of times, and use a special ability every now and then, take out all these enemies, and move on to the next area. It's fun. It's a fun, mindless game. So they're re-releasing that. They're re-releasing Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, which was another Wii U game that was a lot of fun. That was I would say one of the best Donkey Kong games.
Really?
Oh yeah, it is so good. Have you not seen me play that one?
I don't remember.
Yeah, it's a Donkey Kong Country game, but it's a new Donkey Kong Country game.
Okay.
So you would like it. You like Donkey Kong Country.
I do. Does it have the music though? That's what I like.
I think that game was underrated when it was released. It didn't get a whole lot of hype when it was released. I remember it came out and just kind of went to the wayside.
Yeah. I'm
happy that they're bringing it back.
Good.
Maybe giving it a second chance, people will love it and they can make another one.
Right.
Also, Bayonetta 1 and 2. Bayonetta 1 has been re-released so many times at this point. Seems like. Started on the Xbox and Xbox 360 and the PS3. Now it's on the PC. Got re-released on the Wii U. Now it's going to be re-released on the Switch. Bayonetta 2, though, was a Wii U exclusive.
Oh, okay.
So releasing that on the Switch is a good idea, I think. Bayonetta 2 is really good. I remember I never finished it.
No, you didn't. But I remember, which is funny to me because you really wanted to play Bayonetta 2. So
I finished Bayonetta 1 on the Xbox 360, and I thoroughly enjoyed that game. Bayonetta 2.
That game is just funny to me.
Bayonetta 2 is even more over the top than the first one was.
That's why it's so funny. I
love that stylish combat. It's just
and there's
fun.
Lots of big
hair.
Lots of big hair.
She's like she's so stylish though. And she does it in a sexy type of over the top anime sexy type of way, and it just works. It just works to me. It doesn't to you? It works for me.
I think the game's fun. I do. I enjoy watching it.
I love watching.
It's like eye rolling to me. Like how
it is eye rolling. It is. Like, it's very over the top. It's like Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z is over the top too.
Yeah, but
I mean, when you're pushing the buttons and making her do all this crazy stuff, and her foot comes out of this hole in the wall and kicks the guy in the background, and it's fun. It is a lot of fun, and all the crap that's going on the screen all at the same time is just cool. I love it. It's like a amped up version of Devil May Cry, you know. And
I love Devil May Cry, so that's true. I hadn't thought of it, but yeah, that's a good comparison.
Well, it is. I think it's from the same people who made Devil May Cry, or at least some of them. Also, Dark Souls remastered.
Look at you! You like move the hands and get excited.
Dark Souls is hands down probably in my top 5 games of all time. The original Dark Souls.
So are they cleaning it up? Like, what are they doing?
I don't know yet. I mean, not a lot's been said about it, other than I know it's being remastered for the PS4 and for the Switch. Mm-hmm. I am so into playing through that game again.
It's so weird to me that Dark Souls would be a Nintendo game, because Nintendo to me is not. It's more like family friendly type stuff, or a lot of their games are, and then Dark Souls is not.
Neither is Bayonetta.
I know. Well, as I said that, I was thinking about Bayonetta. But
I haven't looked that deeply into it.
Right.
You know, if they want to go ahead and try to release a new game, or they're expanding their audience. Right. It's not a first party game either. So and that's what they need to do if they want to compete.
First party game,
like Nintendo published game.
Oh, got it. Yep.
Dark Souls is From Software, Namco Bandai, I believe.
Okay.
So the first Dark Souls, the expansiveness of the world, being able to go from see an area in the background and know that you're going to eventually come back there, and you go through this big long level, and then it ultimately ends you back where you started, and you're like, everything is so interconnected so well.
I really like those.
The level design in the original Dark Souls is top notch. Like, I've never seen anything done that well in any game ever. Excuse me. It's my favorite game in the Souls series. I like it even more than Bloodborne. Bloodborne's really good.
Right.
It's awesome, and I'm so ready to be able to play it on the Switch on the go if I want to, and sink another several hundred hours into it, because I put so much time into that game. I'm super pumped. I'm hoping that my Dark Souls buddies will pick up a Switch.
You know what I like about Dark Souls is it's like, well, I guess it's like any fan base thing, but like if you are a Dark Souls person and you guys like you were dedicated to that.
Oh yeah. And we are. I mean, I was so deeply invested in all of those games.
Yeah.
So if Billy and Max are wanting to get back into it and get a Switch, I'll be all for it. I don't think I'm going to get the PS4 version. I just want to be able to, I think if I'm going to play through this again, it's going to be because I can play it on the portable system and then plug it into the dock.
Right.
So, also, they released, or during the Nintendo Direct, they announced a few new games. Some of note, Mario Tennis. Mario Tennis games are fun. They are a lot of, it sounds like it wouldn't be fun.
I remember the thing.
Virtual Boy.
Yeah, the Virtual Boy. I remember playing that.
It's not that. It's like the first, I think, really good Mario Tennis game was on the N64.
Okay.
But yeah, they've released a new one on most consoles since then, and they're fun games. They really are.
Right.
I just don't. It's not something I'm super excited to play. It's a great like party game. Like if you have people over and you guys want to play a match against each other, it's a lot of fun for that. It might be fun to play with the kids. Actually.
Right.
And they also announced Bayonetta 3. Back
there
to
it is again.
Yeah. I'm super pumped for that. I would definitely play.
For some reason, I can't believe that it's only 3. I feel like there's more.
No, there's only 2. That's
crazy.
why I said this game is so good. It's been around. It's been relevant for all these years. They keep re-releasing Bayonetta 1.
Oh, I see. They just keep re-releasing it then.
Yeah.
All right, then that's what I'm thinking of.
So yeah, I'd never finished Bayonetta 2, and I'm debating on whether or not I want to trade in my copy on the Wii U and just get the Switch version and play through it.
Because
I'm more likely to finish
the portable.
I'm more likely to finish a game in portable mode.
Yep.
Because you can just start playing it. Okay, I'm done. Turn it off, put it in sleep mode, and then pick it back up and start right where I left off.
Yep. Well,
it's so easy.
But that's what you do is you play your game and then you come back to the bedroom and then you play until you go into sleep mode.
Until I fall asleep and have the thing hit me in the face. Yeah. So yeah,
as a funny note, again, as a gamer wife, when you were gone in Dallas, I actually put on the podcast so that I could sleep because I needed something. Like one time I put on...
You needed to hear something to put you to sleep.
I did. Well, and I put on one of your JRPG like soundtracks. I just typed it in.
Remember you told me that. That's funny.
So, and then I set the timer so it would go off and yeah.
That's typically what I'm playing. It's like some sort of RPG till I fall asleep. That's funny. So yeah, Nintendo's re-releasing some games. They have a few new ones, nothing real exciting, but
feels like a lot of people are re-releasing.
Yeah, I mean,
Katie, she's super excited about
Shadow of the Colossus.
And it looks pretty.
That one is a remaster.
I am excited about that.
That one looks great. Which leads me to our next topic.
Yes.
We treated ourselves. We treated ourselves yesterday, and we got a 4K TV. And a PlayStation 4 Pro.
Yeah.
And let me just say that it's really... I didn't think it was going to be that big a difference, but it truly is.
So here's how you know it's a big difference. Because Adrian will watch a movie, and if it wasn't like a high-def movie... He's like, oh, it's so blurry. It's annoying. And I can never tell. Like, I couldn't tell between a Blu-ray and a DVD. Like, I just can't. Like, that's hard for me. But it is so much of a difference that even I walked in from going grocery shopping and they're watching, what was it?
Planet
Earth 2. And it just stopped me in my tracks. Like, the colors, how crisp it is.
Yep.
It's
the details are amazing.
I can't, yeah.
And I did it at the perfect time too, because Monster Hunter, I think, is a really good game for 4K.
Really? Okay. I'll see that.
There's so much going on the screen and everything, and the graphics are really beautiful in that game. Makes me want to play Dragon Ball Z. I want to see Dragon Ball Z with those bright colors. I'll get that eventually. But so we got that, and we've been having a lot of fun just oohing and awing at the bright colors and the contrasts and the darks and the lights, and toying with all the different features that the TV has. Like, you can mess with all kinds of adjustments. Like, I got an HDR, which stands for, the guy at Best Buy explained this to me, high dynamic range, meaning the different pixels put out their own light or something, so it creates a crisper, cleaner picture with more vibrant colors. And it really is. Like, it was totally worth it. So thank you to the guy at Best Buy, because I was going there to get a 4K TV, but not like I was just gonna get a cheap 4K. 4K means 4K. Well, obviously the salesman is going to tell me otherwise, but I also did my own research on it while I was there at the store. I was there for a while. And
Yeah, he was there a long time because you were depending on me at first to say no.
I wasn't going to do it. But then when you got excited about it, I was like, okay, she wants it, so I'll get it.
You would have done it anyway, like eventually. So I was saving myself.
Well, we did, and it was cool.
It is. No, I'm happy with it.
And the PS4 Pro, like, absolutely, if you're going to get a 4K TV, get either the PS4 Pro or the Xbox One X. It's worth it.
Xbox did it too? Crap, yeah. You're going to make us get one of those too.
No, I'm not.
Really?
I don't play the Xbox. You guys play the Xbox.
Yeah, I don't really care. So we loved the 4K TV. It was a good investment. I think it was like, especially if you're a gamer. I don't know. I mean,
if you're in the game, if you're a tech buff like I am,
right?
Even if you're not, like she is,
yeah, I'm enjoying it. I can't wait to watch my animes on it. It's gonna be so pretty.
Watch anything on it. It's so beautiful.
The kids and I are really enjoying Sword Art Online right now. So.
I love colors, and I love tech,
and it's very noticeable. It's very noticeable.
I would definitely recommend the upgrade if you're thinking about it. Mm-hmm. It's worth it.
Yep.
Just make sure you get that PS4 Pro.
Not brought to you by PS4 Pro.
Not brought to you by PlayStation. Yeah. It's been a PlayStation podcast today.
It has.
Let's see. You wanted to talk about an announcement.
I'm really excited. So I'm a stay-at-home mom, a housewife mom, and so that means I'm on Facebook a lot. That's basically what that means. And what I like to do is when I'm cooking or cleaning, I will put on I'll find a funny video, and then I'll just click it and then let it go as I'm cooking. And all of a sudden, after one of the videos I had watched, this thing came up with. It was what was it?
CES.
So what I got from it is that it's a computer, expo basically. Right. And they're showcasing exactly all of their stuff.
All the new tech.
Right. And he was saying and I know that there's all kinds of gaming stuff, but this is more just about tech. And I was really excited because they showed that the HTC Vive has gotten an upgrade. And the reason why that's exciting for me is because the whole reason we got PSVR, was because I want PSVR. That was the drive. I had been pushing him and pushing him.
That's her toy. I get the benefit, but that's what she likes. We tried to beat the Vive at my brother's house.
Right.
And that led us to get the PSVR, and the PSVR is great.
Yeah, I'm very happy.
Yeah, it's great.
I've interacted with both, and I mean
that's not to break your train of thought here, but even the PSVR, I tried it on the new PS4 Pro. I didn't know how much of an upgrade it would be, and it is. It's everything is more clear.
Really, I haven't played with it yet.
I was playing Skyrim in it, and I remember I was playing Skyrim on the other one. It was kind of fuzzy. I did kind of see. I was going to say, it's almost like they had taken an eraser and kind of blurred all the things together. Yeah, it was just kind of fuzzy. But when I played it with the PS4 Pro, the resolution was a lot better.
Yeah.
It was again, I would say even more engrossing in that way. And it was cool. It was worth the...
I'm just glad I wasn't next to the spider. I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I was walking past that spider. I was like, man, I don't remember the spider being this creepy looking. So yeah, it did make an improvement. The Pro did make an improvement on the VR.
Yeah, that is cool.
So what did they announce with the Vive?
So basically, the reason why we committed to PSVR, well, there were a couple of reasons why we did PSVR. But honestly, one of the main reasons was... it's just there were a lot of things that for us, we would have to hook it up to the computer, and there's all this long cord, and
you got to set up the two sensors.
Got to set it up, yeah. And so it just didn't really work for our family right now, which is why we went with PSVR.
We have a small living room, small house in general.
We take tiny house living. It's unwilling. I don't want to be a tiny houser.
Well, we need to quit buying things like HTC Vive.
We'll shove it full of all kinds of fun.
But anyway, the space that is required for a VR almost requires its own room or a bigger living room.
Someday we will build that house.
Yeah, someday. But what the PlayStation VR plugs into the PlayStation. Yeah. All you need is that front-facing camera where you can set it in front of the TV.
Yeah.
It's easy to put away and take out whenever you need to. You don't need to set up a computer or anything. You don't need to measure the sensors and all that stuff.
Right.
It's just easy and it works and it's fantastic. Right. I would even venture to say that the PSVR games are better than the Steam VR games.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but
in my opinion, they are. I got Skyrim, and I don't
care about Skyrim.
Resident Evil 7.
I don't care about that. I won't. I'll watch you play that one, but not in VR. There's no way you could get me to.
I like those full featured games. I'm not for the.
So how far are you in?
Let's not talk about
your scary game.
I'll get back to it eventually. I muster up the courage.
So my Vive, I was really excited. I sent it to you because they've upgraded it. They have gotten the resolution better, and you understand that a little bit better. But when I was reading it, like I went and did a tiny bit of research on it. So basically the resolution, like they wanted it to where people could read when you're in VR. And they said that it's because, you know, when people were asking the developers to create things for them, they wanted to be able to interact with certain like interfaces and they needed to be able to read in it. So they made the resolution where it's a lot more crisp. And so to me, that's really cool. That'll take VR and a different, like you could have a book and you could turn pages in a book. Like to me, I think that's really exciting.
It does, like the resolution, while okay, is definitely dumbed down to what we're used to seeing on the TV.
Right.
So hearing that they're improving the resolution is really, really cool. Like that's the kind of VR I was hoping to see that we would get to the point.
Right. Well, and you kept saying, let's just wait. This is the first one. Yeah. Let's wait till
I wanted to get one with better resolution.
Right.
And the lower resolution is not a deal breaker, but the higher resolution is absolutely welcome.
Well, and then what I'm really liking is they also have built-in headphones now. With the family, like for us, that would be huge because...
Well, with the resolution... it's saying here it's a 78% increase from the previous version.
Right. And I really thought that the original one was well, and it was also my first experience, but I thought it was really good. It was really cool.
It's still good.
Right.
That's going to be a lot better. Built-in headphones is really nice. The way we do it before is you'd have the headphones on and then plug into the back.
And then the kids would rip the headphones off and you're like, oh no. So to me, I think that's going to make it better.
Having it all built in is a good idea.
And they said that they're like high def. So
which is what you need when you're in VR. You need to be engrossed.
It's immersive. That's the whole point of it. And then they also, the best part is wireless.
Wireless is super cool, but I'm kind of like iffy on that. I need to actually see it to believe it. Because when you're outputting all that sound and the higher resolution that they're going for and you're doing it wirelessly, that just seems like lag input, like making you sick and stuff.
Well, I mean, maybe. Well, but the cord doesn't make it to where you're not as...
The cord doesn't really get in the way that much. Yes, I would prefer...
I felt like it did.
With the Vive, you were doing a lot of moving around in the Vive.
Yeah.
The PSVR doesn't really matter.
The PSVR, no, because so much of it is this. Now, yes, you can turn and look behind you, but in the Vive, you go through the entire room.
With the Vive, because they have those sensors set up, you kind of map out a area in your room where you can go and do things.
And so your wall
you do
is
get
actually...
wrapped up in the cord.
Yeah, so... For me, I really like the idea. Now, I since I'm not techie, I wouldn't think of stuff like that. But I'm excited about that. They also said that they have front-facing two cameras,
two front-facing cameras. I'm not sure what they can do with that, but I'm sure that's going to open up a lot of possibilities.
Right.
Maybe seeing what's in front of you better, or maybe better recognition of where you are.
What I'm really excited about with VR, and again, like they made a point in the video that I was talking about that right now VR, like 2 years ago, VR was like everybody was so into it and it was so cool, but now they're kind of not taking a step back, but it's not like the thing in the front anymore, and it's more because they're kind of waiting for people to develop it. And what I'm excited about with VR is, I homeschool, and the idea that it's getting better to where it's literally like they're now making science classes for VR headsets.
Oh yeah.
And I think that that's really cool. Like you're able to take, hearts and turn them around, and I want to do that.
Really nice practical uses for VR. I could see them taking those front facing cameras and saying, like, say I was Ryan, my brother, at home and I'm at home, and we put on the VR and we can make it to where it looks like we're sitting next to each other on the couch, you know, and talking to each other. And when I'm looking at him in the VR, it actually looks like he's there. I think that's the next step that they need to take with VR.
It'll be cool. Like, I'm excited. I was really excited when I read that, because it also gave me hope. It's like we were kind of waiting to get it until they started improving things. Or
think about it this way. What if there's a presentation or an event that you want to go to?
Yes, exactly.
Maybe like there's a concert that you really want to go to, but you can't make it.
Right.
What if you paid like an entry fee to get into this concert, and then you go there and you put on the VR and you're there. You're like, you still feel like, and even better, you could be front row.
Right. And people wouldn't, it wouldn't take away from anything, because there would still be the people who want to be there.
Yeah.
But then there's people like me who's like, I got kids, I don't want to do it, but
I want to see.
I want to go. Yes. Yeah.
It's the possibilities for VR is so limitless. I'm telling you, like, I'm glad to see that it's not a fad that just is dying away, that they're still trying to work on it and make improvements on it. I see so much potential for VR. I really do. I think it's kind of like, it's the medium of the future.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be something that's a one person experience either. I think they could, as the technology progresses, it'll be more inclusive. Yep. I don't think we're going to get to Ready Player One style.
What's that?
Oh, you're not familiar with that? The new movie that's coming out based on the book?
Oh, yeah. Okay, now I do.
I'm not seeing that happening, but I do
Although, I did a little research, because, like, okay, if you think about it, what a cordless is going to do is they've got those, like, VR parks, like, and it's, like, the entire park. Like, it's if in the VR there's a rail there, there's a rail there, like, and everything. So that's going to open up, like, I mean, they are moving in that direction. It's not there yet, but it is moving in that direction. I think that's really cool.
It's going there, and if they keep working on it, it'll get there. And I'm supporting them the whole way. I'm ready for that. I want that.
That's the only this is the only gaming type thing that I will be annoying to you about that we will get. So.
The next iteration looks like it's going to be really expensive. Not to mention we have to get a
new computer.
A new video card to.
Right, that's what I mean. Well, but they did say they're not getting rid of the other one. It's going to be the HTC Vive Pro, which is the one that we're talking about, the upgrade, and then the regular. So they're not.
Why would you go back to the old one when there's the new one?
But there's also people who, because I'm sure it'll be a price thing. Like if you've got the Pro,
if they have the old one and they're able to bring the price down to welcome more people into it.
That's what I think. It'll be the gateway.
I still think the PSVR is the gateway VR. It's cheap. Like during Christmas time, it was going down to like $200.
Really?
Yeah, it was getting super cheap. So if you had a PlayStation 4 already and you just bought this thing, you're in VR.
Yeah.
It's not a several $1,000 investment. Right. It was a $200
VR investment. Is so fun to me, because what I really like about being a house that has it, there's not very many people who have it right now. And I get a lot of satisfaction of bringing people who have never done it before and then having them do it, because they are so blown away and they're excited and they interact. And it's so funny, like when something pops and they enjoy it.
It's an experience that is unique.
Right.
And it's cool to see people do it for
usually,
the first time.
Well, I mean, it's been enjoyable. We make sure that we don't do the scary ones for people. Like, we aren't mean and...
Yeah, we do.
No, we don't.
I would.
No, you wouldn't. You're nice.
What is that one? The rail shooter one? Something of blood.
I don't know.
Until Dawn, Rush of Blood.
Rush of Blood. Owen calls it the scary clown game.
It is a scary clown game.
That one is great. I want you to get Brody sometime. Like,
record him play that?
Because it's hilarious. Like, that's all I want. Yep.
Well, with that, guys, we talked for a while there. That was a good show.
Hey. We had a lot to say.
If you enjoyed the show, please like and comment on iTunes or wherever you find our podcast. You can follow us on Twitter at JabGcast. We are on Facebook at JabGcast. I put out video portions of the podcast on YouTube. You can just search for Just a Big Gaming Podcast there. Also, we've been up in the ante on Instagram lately. Ryan's been making a lot of posts on there, and we've been he asked a question, try to have more engagement there. And I think we're going to try to do that more often. And yeah, we're really, really
spreading your wings.
We're kicking it up a notch on Instagram, whereas we hadn't been using it much in the past. And so yeah, and Ryan's doing a great job on there, by the way. So definitely give us a follow on Instagram if you're into that. It's at JabGcast as well. And with that, episode 18 is a wrap, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.